So this is a side quest, if you can call it that.
An N7 mission.
Yeah, an N7 mission. This is the Cerberus lab. And if you've played any multiplayer, you probably recognize this level. It's... How do you feel about them just blatantly recycling? I don't know if recycling is the right word to use, but... So almost all the N7 missions are the multiplayer maps. And this isn't something new. Like, every Halo game has multiple levels that are, you know, directly out of
there was a point
single player.
In, I don't know, gaming news, I guess you'd say, where I remember reading about how developers almost thought it was a cool benefit to say, we used the single-player maps as the multiplayer maps. Like, you'll recognize the multiplayer maps from the game.
So what point in history do you think this was?
I would say Halo 2.
Halo 2, okay.
Era?
So maybe like 2004,
You know, because there was that...
Halo 2 came out in 2004.
what was that? What was the level in Halo 2 with the big Ferris wheel thing? Where you go get the sword?
Big Ferris wheel. Oh, it had Camp Froman in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I think that was in the
but
single
I know what
player.
you're talking about. Okay.
And I think that was kind of like one of the things they were talking about.
So
Back when EGM was a magazine that I read.
and they said that this was good for the end user.
They said
And they
it was
argued
almost
that-
a benefit.
Right, because in multiplayer they would recognize these levels from single player.
Yeah. Almost as a benefit. Or a differentiation. Or some sort of good thing that it's cool to talk about.
Now, it makes sense to me that they do it this way because they're cutting costs on testing.
So, can I just ask you a question?
Okay.
N7 missions, are they the same objective as multiplayer? Where it's like you have to kill a bunch of people?
No, they're entirely different. It's just the same map.
So the map, okay.
It's okay. It's not like multiplayer at all in terms of what you're doing. In multiplayer, there's 10 rounds. You get 7
So
of those.
it's not like one round of the 10.
No, not at all. In multiplayer, there's 10 rounds. 7 of the 10 rounds, you're just surviving. You just have to kill everybody that comes your way, and it gets progressively more tough. On rounds 3, 6, and 10, there's objectives. And those objectives are either kill 4 high-priority targets, basically a king of the hill, or capture the hill objective, where you have to stand in a download spot.
Download the file,
and the more people that are standing in the circle, the faster it downloads. And then hack 4 terminals around the map. So that's more of a king of the hill, a moving king of the hill. Pretty sure those are the 3.
Crazy King.
Crazy King, yes, that's the way to put it. So I just pulled that guy's shield right off. And I'm trying to revive Liara, because without her, I have no fucking stasis, and I have no goddamn way of killing, anybody. So yeah, that's it. That's interesting that they parroted that as
Now this was 10 years ago.
on Jeff Gersman
8 years ago.
gave this game a 4 out of 5 on his review.
Which is low.
And he gave
Syndicate got 5 out of 5.
And he gave the fucking Syndicate a 5 out of 5.
That's retarded.
Now, okay,
right?
now I don't like it when people do that, but I'm doing it anyway. Say, oh, you gave this a this, and you gave that a this. You're fucking insane. But you gave the Syndicate a 5 and this a 4?
That's insane.
You're retarded.
That's
you are a bad
insane.
reviewer. Your scale doesn't make sense. It's not easy for people to use if the Syndicate is goddamn 5.
Perfect.
Right. And this is a
perfect game.
4. Anyway, that's a different argument. The reason I brought that up was he, on the Giant Bombcast, he mentioned that they reused levels.
And that was a negative.
Yeah, and he said, oh, that was kind of strange. It kind of takes you out of it. You know, it wasn't something he elaborated on a lot or really, like, you know, hammered home. But it stuck with me because every game does that these days. Every fucking game does it all the time, and I've never heard anybody ever complain about it, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't something new.
No.
It's very explicit in this game, though. I think that's the main difference. In Halo, you know, there are these long levels, and there's a 15% chunk of the level.
They're like, oh yeah, I recognize this.
Oh.
Cool.
So this level,
is cool. Yeah.
This level with a different sun overhead instead of nighttime in daytime. This is a Halo level.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. I see what they did there. But in this, it's much easier to recognize. I think.
Did he
much easier to recognize?
Did he review Mass Effect 2?
I don't know.
I'd be curious to see. I mean, is he reviewing 3 based on 2, or is he reviewing 3 based on the Syndicate? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what do you? What's your basis of comparison?
Yeah, like where do you?
What's the standard?
Yeah.
What's a 2.5 out of 5? What's 50%?
Right. Like what's that building up in Boulder that has, you know, the international standard for what, like
NIST.
1 liter and 1 gram, the NIST,
Yeah,
something like that. Like, you
National Institute of Standards or something.
Yeah, and they have their
Exactly what an inch is.
Yes, they have a gram that every other gram is measured by, and they have 1 meter that every other meter is measured by. You know, that's the standard. Like, even if you, I feel like, yeah, okay, everything's subjective, but you should have some sort of scale, or else what's the fucking point of having reviews? You know? Like, there needs to be something, or else what's the fucking point of having a score in the first place?
Excellent.
Yes!
No matter how bad you fuck up the ending, this is an excellent game.
Oh, man.
That's a different discussion.
I need 5 videos to get into the ending. So, I don't know if I just didn't notice the end objective here, but in a couple seconds, I'm going to run for the exit, and you don't necessarily need to kill everybody before you finish this mission. But I feel like the objective didn't show up until very late. There, I just heard it come in on my headphones. And I haven't been listening to the game as I've been recording this. So, yeah, I probably could have ran to it just a little bit sooner. Anyway, that's a minor thing. Anyway, yeah, reuse levels. And that's almost every single N7 mission, too, which is weird.